Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Dan McCall on the line, and he's CEO over at Influitive. Dan, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks so much, Adam, and thanks for having me.
All right, so excited to get today's topic. So we're going to talk about virtual events and where you see those going. I know you're working on those quite a bit over at Influitive, but before we get into that, let's go a little bit further into the company. Tell us a little bit more about Influitive, please.
Yeah, and I think it'll make sense on how we ended up in the event space when you kind of understand a little bit more about the platform that we offer. We're essentially a solution that creates engagement with humans, and that's a very broad way of saying what we do. But if you think about, we use kind of a combination of targeting, very personalized content journeys, rewards programs, badges, things that you might get in a gamification type environment. We use those mechanics to drive a specific set of behaviors that essentially creates proactive engagement across any target. And our target is primarily customers. Our customers are going after their customers. So we're trying to engage our customers' customers. And as you might imagine, that is something that you would do at an event, but you also can do it online. And the other way to think about it is this is driving proactive engagement. So take like a support use case. We would call that reactive engagement. Your customer reached out to you and you responded. In this case, we're reaching out to the customer and they're doing things on our behalf that both help us and help them.
No, that's awesome. And I think that's a great transition in today's topic. So the future of virtual events, and it does make sense into how you ended up in virtual events, and you're needed right now. So where do you want to start with this topic?
Yeah, I think maybe talk a little bit about the physical events. So, as a customer engagement platform, we were already being used when somebody would have a live event, like Cisco's one of our big customers. They would have something called Cisco Live, and they'd get tens of thousands of people at these events. Our platform gets used quite a bit in this space that we call customer advocacy, where your best customers, the people that love your product and want to write great reviews and tweet about you, they come into our platform, they get points for helping you, they give you referrals, references. Those same folks show up at the Cisco conferences and a variety of our other customer conferences, and what they want to do is give them a real VIP-like experience, basically engage them ahead of time before the conference, during the conference, and after the conference. And while we're there, recruit new members, people that maybe are advocates but that they didn't know about. So we were doing this, and the idea is, an event is a particular hour, day, 2 days in time, but you miss the opportunity to kind of pre-wire it up front or engage up front, and then afterwards, how do you keep the conversations going? And that's exactly what our platform had done in the physical world. What we did is we looked at that and we said, well, we should definitely be doing that for these virtual events. I mean, how do you make them more impactful? And so that was the germ of the idea of a special program that we launched for our customers recently, which was essentially to give them free software that would allow them to do that pre- and post-event engagement. And really the message was, look, we're all in this together with you folks. You've all had, all of your physical events just devastated by this pandemic. But, if you want our help, no, you're not going to pay for the software, and we have experts that can help you build better events. And we've done this a few times now, and I think everybody's really appreciated it.
Man, that's awesome. I love this idea. Let's go a little bit further into kind of the nuts and bolts and what this looks like, because there's a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives listening right now, and they're looking for solutions for their events. Obviously, right now, virtual, and in the future, in person, which is also your bread and butter. You've been doing it for a long time, big companies. Give us a little bit more on the nuts and bolts on what that looks like to work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that makes a ton of sense. So, and actually, just as long as we're on the topic of the future, we don't really see these virtual events like becoming a splash in the pan. I mean, people are achieving so much success with registration rates that just blow away anything they could ever do in the physical capacity. The costs are much less. So we kind of see the future as physical and virtual forever. So I think that's kind of something everybody that's an event manager or really struggling with should think about. Is like, I don't think this goes away. Where we kind of define our boundaries are, we need to work with the people that are doing the video streaming. We're not a video streaming platform, so we partner with folks and we embed that into our website. So the actual session, if you will, it can be pre-recorded, and you can just pop it up at a certain time and then have people there for live Q&A, or you can do live streaming. Really, the idea, though, is to kind of create this gamified approach to your whole event. So you invite people into, we call them hubs, but you invite them into a hub, and it says, hey, upcoming event, take some of these, do some of these activities. In some cases, people call them challenges. Tell us about you. Tell us what's meaningful for you so we can craft a content journey, in this case, maybe a video session journey that's relevant to you. And we'll give you points and reward you for telling us things that will make the event more meaningful. So think of that as just, asking questions, getting answers, but the whole time putting that into what we'll call a targeting database that would let our customers then go and create much more enriched journeys than just kind of poking around going, hey, what's interesting to me? We can push things towards you that we think you'll be interested in based on any variety of data, whether it's, demographic data, it's location-based, psychographic, how you feel about certain things, or just picking from a topic of interest. We can take all of that and say, here's something you might be interested in. By the way, it's on this date and time. Would you like me to add that to your calendar? All of those kinds of things. And then afterwards, the typical survey is, tell us what you thought about the event, maybe a quick survey monkey kind of thing. We can go much more in depth. What did you really like about that? And actually say thank you in the form of points, if you will, right, so that are redeemed for rewards. And think of your, typical trade show where people are handing out, tens of millions of dollars of swag. In this case, it's much more targeted around very specific things that you're looking for. And then there's a nice reward store that you can go with to get your favorite T-shirt or whatever else, the vendor may be giving away. So we're really trying to take that full circle of what you might do in a physical world, but just make it much more targeted and really, quite frankly, much more easy to engage to. You don't have to get on a plane to do this. You can still walk home with the swag. It just gets shipped to you, and at the end of the day, you hopefully had a better and more enriching experience.
Man, that's awesome. I love it. And I couldn't agree with you more. I think the market's just been expanded for events. A lot of people that would have never attended your event in the first place because they were either too busy or they don't like traveling. Some people don't like getting on a plane. I mean, it's a lot of people that just don't like traveling and they don't look forward to it. They're comfortable at home. I mean, that's a lot of people. I think sometimes we forget that, that's a big demographic that just don't like traveling. So that being said, I think the market's completely been expanded in this sense. And I'm excited to see what goes forward because I feel like there's going to be, like, with intelligent people like yourself working on with what you're doing for virtual events right now, I think it's going to be virtual events, and then they're going to feel so immersed that the real diehard, the ones that are going to go almost like Comic-Con, those are going to be the ones that show up to the event. But that audience and that energy there, is going to be unlike anything else because there's going to be a lot of other people that are there that they think like you, they feel like you, and they're really engaged with whatever the product or service or company or brand is, and it's just going to make even the in-person events are even going to be that much better going forward. So I'm excited about all of it, Dan.
Yeah, I really, I couldn't agree more with you. I think it's going to be really interesting. Rather than trying to get people to, join something virtually, you're going to be convincing them how to get there physically, because I think we're going to be thinking about travel and do I want to get on a plane pretty hard for a while. So I couldn't agree more. The one thing I will say, and I've seen this, Adam, a couple of times, is that I've had the chance to actually attend way more events because they're now virtual, and actually the cost is either free or much cheaper than it would be about getting the plane and the hotel. And so the energy, though, is a little harder to create when it's a one-to-many kind of talking head. So I think, I think if there's like a technology and innovation out there that can find a way beyond just the Twitter stream, to capture energy that's going on at a virtual event, I think that could be a huge home run. And so, I think I'll write that one down in my notebook.
I was going to say, somebody's out there working on it right now, and I'm excited because I'm gonna join one of these events one day, and I'm going to be like, oh, they just gamed me. This is good. This is what Dan was talking about. I'm on the bottom playing this stream or playing some game like I'm playing Jeopardy or some like game on my phone, and I'm like, oh, they got me. Dan did it. Oh, let me see the logo on this. Influitive.
Actually, I'm thinking of some good ideas. Yeah, that would be great. But I think, honestly, that would be if we could capture that level. And the video gamers are doing this
for
today
sure.
with avatars, right?
So love it. So Dan, that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Influitive or to learn more from you and your team, what's the best way for them to connect with the brand?
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is just go to our website, influitive.com, and there's plenty of places to sign up to get a demo, speak to someone, fill out forms. We're actually using our product in a really cool way where we have, we're calling it an experience hub, where you come in and we take you on a journey, which is exactly what our product will do with your customers should you decide to become a customer, so you get to experience it, while you're learning about it. So that's the best way, and Adam, I really appreciate you giving me that little commercial.
Absolutely. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Dan, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks again, Adam. You have a great day.